Hello, welcome to Mark and Pete Live. I'm Pete the Clergyman. With me, as always, is Mark the Businessman. So, what's going on? What have you got for us this week, Mark? Let's jump right into it.
Well, it's all about Bond. James Bond. Yes, Daniel Craig's final James Bond film, No Time to Die, took between £4.5 to £5 million on its first day in the United Kingdom and Irish cinemas. It seems to be a roaring success. But of course, what about the legacy, Clergyman Pete? It does seem as though that this is something that captures everybody's imagination. But what's unusual about this particular film is it was delayed several times due to COVID. And of course, obviously, the industry is desperate to see how this legacy will continue. Now, Clergyman Pete, I must say, here's my thought on how they could possibly move things forward. Shaken and a bit stirred. Who will be the next James Bond? Will he be ginger or possibly blonde? Should he be British or from across the pond? And carry a Walter PPK that he famously donned? Could he be the character who could just abscond? What about the next story and beyond? How will the film's producers even respond? Maybe Bond's the villain and we've all been conned. Yes, let's have a twist here. Who should be the next James Bond and what's the next plot?
Yes. Well, I think that it's interesting you should say that because there's always a lot of speculation, isn't there? But James Bond has a very specific character, and he has an actual history, doesn't he? So I think you've got to have someone to fit that. There's some speculation that the producers were thinking along the lines of, well, James Bond is just a name that's handed around, as though you could have you could have a completely different person. The name is inherited,
Exactly.
but there's no indication of that at all in the movies. He seems to have a particular history, and you have one actor playing James Bond referring back to incidents when he was played by someone else. So
Yeah.
I don't.
I like the
That's
idea of
certainly
him being
not
a
a bit.
villain, though. I think this is a good idea. This is we could we could get to the broccolis and say, "Hey, we got an idea here."
Yeah,
Is that something that could work?
you see, the thing is, I think that we need James Bond. I think we
Yes.
need heroes like James Bond, and specifically James Bond, because he's a particular type of hero, a
Yes.
very particular history to it. He's sexist, misogynist, sleeps with lots of women,
Are we talking about
and
you now
he's
or James
he's
Bond?
violent and yeah. Well, obviously, James Bond. I don't know whether listeners know he's based on my life story, but the other feature of James Bond is, of course, he's extremely violent. And kills people mercilessly and pushes ahead
But he has a
with
license to
his.
kill, though.
Yes, he's also patriotic. Yeah, he fits within the law, although there's no sign that he doesn't enjoy killing. He doesn't kill unnecessarily, and he likes to party and drink just slightly too much alcohol, and basically live a life of luxury, but only in in pursuit of the mission, which is all important to serve Queen and country. So what we have here is a real man. You don't. It's not some wimp, some low testosterone
No.
soy boy. This person is a real man who's a hero. So
Well,
I think we need more of that. I think we've got too many wimpy guys who are wimping out or being replaced by female versions in different movies. Let's bring back the James Bond, who's the real James Bond. No, I think Daniel Craig was and is, as the new movies doing the rounds. I think he's a great Bond, but who will the next one be? Well,
yes.
it needs to be someone as macho as Daniel Craig played him, and presumably as macho as the man is himself. I don't know him personally, but with some of the other features that we so loved over the years for James Bond.
Well, I like the gadgets. I mean, I must admit
Yeah,
that
that's
the
another manly
idea
thing,
of
though, isn't it? Yeah.
a simple pen turning into a gun, or maybe, something that springs out of your shoe, as we saw. I think it was from
Well,
Russia with Love and
yeah,
things like that. I mean, what a great feast of technological imagination that came from those
yeah.
films. But
Well,
coming back to the
yes, I
heroes,
agree with that. I agree with that.
would
Yes.
you say, and this is just my view, there are two people that stand out who I thought were believable in the character. So they were all
Okay.
entertaining
Oh,
in their own
this is
way.
past actors. Yeah, yeah.
Past
Go
actors,
ahead.
I thought
Yeah.
clearly Sean Connery, without any doubt, because he was the first one to play it, fantastic. He
It's
was
the
so
first in this
synonymous with it.
series. Yeah. There was a
Yes, and
previous film in which an American played it, and he was known as Chuck Bond. So
quite.
yeah, but in this series, yes,
So
he
I
is
thought
James
that
Bond.
Sean Connery did a fantastic job, but I will say that Daniel Craig, I think, really brought a new edge to it, and he was believable in the fight
Mm,
sequences. So I'm actually a bit sad that he's not doing the next one, but
yeah, yeah,
nevertheless, he wants to move on.
yeah,
I've got a
yeah.
character who I think that potentially
Oh,
an actor.
an
I'm going to
actor
sort
who
of
could play.
start
Go
throwing
ahead.
out some names
Oh,
here,
right.
folks. Yeah, what
Yep,
about
yep.
Mr. Hugh Jackman?
Now, Hugh Jackman. Now, he's not British.
No, but
Um,
I'm sure he could play with a bit of bit of
he could
training.
probably play a British accent with a British accent. As I mean, he did. I think he was a teacher in London in a
Well, there you
previous life
go.
before he became an actor. The PE teacher, I believe. But he could play with an Australian accent because James Bond is Scottish, but Scottish Australian. It's all to American audiences. It's just some sort of slightly strange English accent, isn't it? So I don't think it would matter. I mean, you don't call him Australian, but I think he just with his normal accent. I don't think it would matter. That's my personal opinion. I think he would be good in the role. I liked, I have to say, I did like Pierce Brosnan's portrayal. In fact, I would put him number two. I would say Sean Connery, Pierce Brosnan, Daniel Craig.
Mm.
Pierce Brosnan rather was, of course, a different sort of Bond. He was more suave and
Oh
sophisticated.
yes, he
I mean,
wore
I
the
think the fun.
tuxedo lovely.
Yeah, I mean, I think the funniest was obviously Roger Moore.
Oh well,
So I
he
think
had the
he's got
quips.
that.
He got the quips
Yeah,
very
yeah.
well. Yes. Yeah.
Um, so I think there's
Well, who else
just
do
a
you
few.
think? Who do you think?
Well,
I've given you
well,
one suggestion.
yeah, right, okay. Well, just on one particular, well, two sides of it. I think being able to do the quips and also looking like he could realistically do the physical feats that Bond does, including beating people up and having great sexual stamina. I would say Tom Hardy. Tom
Mm.
Hardy has who currently plays the character who is inhabited by Venom, the symbiote in the movies Venom at the moment. But I think from what he's done in the past, you can see he can play someone who's very scary. Think of his role uh, in uh, in the previous Nolan uh, movie. What was that called? The one about dreams. Um, that movie, the
Mm.
one movie dreams. Anyway, he in his previous roles has played spies and played spies with a wry smile and looking extremely in control. And
Mm.
he's got the physique that he looks like he could punch his way. But
What about
that's
Mr.
two of the.
Huddleston?
I think you're thinking of Hiddleston, aren't you? Tom
Him as
Hiddleston.
well.
No, Tom Hiddleston, who played Loki, has that sort of scariness in the voice. He's got such a great
Yes.
actor's voice.
Yeah.
He could certainly play the part and can look very sophisticated.
How about Mr.
Um,
McGregor?
Now, Ewan McGregor is a good actor. I mean, I
Got the Scottish
don't see
accent.
I don't see him as being able to pull off the being scary bit.
Oh.
That sort of he needs to be scary in a way that's attractive to women and intimidating to men. That's
Mm.
the key part, I think. If we're saying we're looking at this as to be a hero, to punch some testosterone back into
Mm.
men,
Yes.
I think that I don't think he could play it. But I guess there must be others. Let's. Well, some people have suggested Killian Murphy.
Ah.
Now he does just facially looks a bit of a wimp to me. I don't think that he would be
And I'm
the
sure you'd be happy
right
to
part.
tell him
Now,
in
yeah,
person.
as to other changes people would like to make, like should James Bond be a woman? No, immediately we've got the low testosterone problem. Should it be someone who's not white? Could it be
Oh,
Idris
yeah.
Elba, whose name's been?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I've got no particular problem with it. It's just, I mean, it doesn't fit in with the backstory. So I think it would clash so much, I wouldn't go for it. But if the actor was really good, I would go for it. It's a bit like saying, well, you can't have Daniel Craig because he's blonde. That was
Yes.
said at the
That was a
time.
strange
Uh,
criticism of him at the
yeah,
beginning, wasn't it? Yes.
yeah, yes. He was blonde. He was ugly. These two things went against him, and I think, yeah, that
Sure.
might be the case. I mean, ugly against greatly handsome people such as yourself, or
Well, indeed.
maybe people like Pierce Brosnan, as those who played him before. Not that he's objectively ugly, but in comparison, and I think that does take away from it, because part of the mystique of the character is that he's so attractive that women throw themselves at him, even though he's so um, cocky and doesn't take anything seriously and goes around killing people. They're still attracted to him, or maybe because of that. But yeah, I think the looks do add to it. But that's just facially. I think in terms of his physique, Daniel Craig had it. But
Mm.
the fact that he was blonde was pointed out as an unnecessary change, and I think that's true. In that they could have dyed his hair.
Well, that's true. That's certainly a consideration. Or alternatively, it may be a complete unknown, in the
Mm.
sense that I know that Sean Connery had done films before, but he was very much in
Oh
his
yeah, yeah.
early stages of his acting career. But it was really Bond that propelled him into stardom. So it could be that they actually take somebody who's had a little bit of experience in the film industry, but
Well,
maybe it's
now
an
Daniel
unknown.
Craig, Daniel Craig did have that. Did have quite a resume, but not in this sort of role.
No.
So
Although I will
that
say, this is just a personal view, I did see him in the film Layer Cake, which is that sort of gangster style film. And I thought, okay, it was a different type of part, but I looked at him and thought he could do it. And he proved
so
that he could. So I
so do
thought
you think
there were
do you think
clues.
that David Tennant, who used to play Doctor Who, of course,
Well,
is
I
really
think he's a very
skinny?
good
Could he
actor.
do it?
I do think that. Well, the only thing is, I think he's going to have to work on his physique, but I
Yes,
think
that's
he
what I'm
would
thinking.
certainly be able to play the
Yeah,
role.
he could play the role.
Certainly in
Looks
the
looks good in a
charismatic
suit.
side.
Yep, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he could wear the
That's
tuxedo.
Yeah, there's a famous episode of when he plays Doctor Who of him wearing a tuxedo. So yeah, he could obviously pull that off. And of
Yes,
course, before he
especially if he
played,
went back in time.
yeah, well, before he played Doctor Who, of course, he played Casanova, David Tennant,
Ah, well,
in
there
in
you
the
go.
series, and he was well known for having pulled that up, but in a jokey manner. So perhaps not the Bond way of doing it. Yes, I mean, looking to how they manage to reboot the series of films of James Bond, maybe they should do just that. Not have a time travel, not necessarily have a time travel element to it, but go back to
I
the
like,
era when
yes.
it started.
Go back to
Go
the
back to
late
the early
50s, early
60s.
60s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you can have some brilliant misogynistic attitudes and have a laugh about them.
Oh,
But I mean, and also, well, you can have a laugh about it, but have it as part of his character, and without saying no, everyone should be like this. You could still have him as a high testosterone character to admire. I mean, that's the thing I would say. It's saying, as I was saying, I was quite serious about. We need a hero with high testosterone, not so that you are like them. In fact, so that you don't need to be like them. He's the sort of person who goes too far in his cavalier treatment of women and how many people he kills. Um, by the way, I think generally you should try and kill 0 people and only have sex with 1 woman at least
hmm.
at a time. And so I think the pro. So I think that
It's being built up
to
for the
have
Archbishop of Canterbury here.
yes, having this character as a hero doesn't mean you want to emulate him. He's a sort of like too full of testosterone, but
Hmm.
he's someone who that side of your manliness, or if you're a woman, your admiration for his manliness, is because he's too far. You couldn't have someone really like that in real life who can be admired, but you can in a movie. So I think we need James Bond. We
Oh,
need
yes.
that over the top character. We need him for the health of our young men. We need him for the entertainment of our young women, and we need him to. We need him to have all the gadgets as well, because you were saying in points of the gadgets. That's another manly thing to love the gadgets, isn't it? We need James Bond back, and we need it to work. So, yeah, I think that they do need to choose the right person. But anyway, I think that's about it for
Well,
this
you
week.
say that, but I didn't really want to have to sort of spring this on you. But
Oh,
I'm afraid, Clergyman Pete, that yes, it's businessman Mark has been offered the role. So,
oh, right.
well, I don't
Yeah.
know what you think
Well,
about that.
I think that will work as long as he's not 007, but 003 and a half.
Yeah.
That's about it this for this week. Remember to leave a comment about what you think. Catch you next time.